Hey everybody, this is Carol Billing and I'm your instructor for Education 202. This is our course syllabus and this works for both the face-to-face class and the online section or sections. I can't remember how many I have this semester. I think I've got 2 sections online. Anyhow, I want to take a minute to go through this with you because it applies for both classes. So to start, my office is in the Aspen Classrooms building, which is the 1-story L-shaped building next to Birch Lane. And I'm in room 122, right behind the security guard's office. I'll be in there for drop-in hours Monday and Wednesdays at 12:30 to 1:30. And then Tuesdays on Zoom and also by appointment. A lot of times students find it easier to meet with me in the evenings on Zoom. We do a screen share. So there's a camera, and if you have a camera I can see you, and if you don't, that's fine. You'll be able to see me, and then we share a screen and we'll talk about whatever the question is or the assignment and what have you. So that's really handy, the Zoom feature, because a lot of times we'll do that at 8 o'clock at night because my kids are asleep, and so the students' kids are asleep also. So that's a great time to have a Zoom office hour rather than middle of the day, especially if you work. So let's go through this briefly. There's not a whole lot in here that's unusual, but definitely email is better than phone. I'm faster on email because it goes right to my cell phone and I can respond back, usually within a day, but I say 48 hours on here. Monday through Friday, just in case I actually do something on the weekend. However, I'm usually working on the weekends. I work pretty much 7 days a week during this semester. But I say on here I don't respond to email weekends, but I usually do. Okay, so it's a regular semester class, and you're either coming into class to meet me on, oh, this is wrong. It only meets on Wednesdays. And it doesn't meet, oh, look at that. Yikes. This should be, this is wrong. 11:30 to 12:20 is what it is. It's right after 201, which most of you are in that class anyway. Sorry about that. And then, of course, if you're in my online class, you don't come in. Right, so online is, of course, online. Okay, sorry about that. That looks much better. We're going to do the education club hours, the opposite of this on Mondays. So on Monday from 11:30 or 11:15 to 12, somewhere around there, we are going to meet, the education club is going to meet, and then Wednesdays after 201 it'll be your 202 class. Okay, so in this class the main focus is that you get out into a classroom to see if teaching is really a good fit for you. And so you'll do 30 hours of observation, and if you're in the face-to-face class we will talk about what you're seeing every Wednesday, and if you're in my online class you will write journals to reflect on what you're seeing. And at the end of the semester, there's a field experience. Well, there's a summary assignment where you sort of summarize what you saw. You also have field experience form, which is really the time card that documents that you did your 30 hours. That is your signature assignment in essence for this class. Okay, so the goals of the class are here. The field experience time card. That's a new name, whatever. I just call it the time card. And I will show you where that is located in our Blackboard tour. Okay. So here we define it exactly. You'll see all the classes have a signature assignment now, or most, and so in this class it's your time card, so that's what you want to make sure that you don't lose. And here I talk a little bit about the 30 hours of observation in the classroom. The teacher you observe needs to be a credentialed teacher. So if you want to observe in a private school, you can, as long as the teacher is credentialed. Private schools don't require Idaho teaching credential necessarily. So that sometimes can trip you up. I also have stuff in the Blackboard, which I'll show you during the Blackboard tour, where I talk specifically about what you need to look for when you decide where you want to do your 30 hours. So you pick the school, you pick the teacher, in most cases. If you don't know, that's fine. What I recommend is you look around what are your natural travel patterns, what school is near whether you near where you work or where you live or near the school, what have you. And you can go to that school and ask to observe and talk with the principal. Usually you'll tell them what grade you're interested in and they'll suggest someone for you to observe if you don't know anyone. So there's a couple different ways. Most students they know kind of where they want to observe, and that's fine. That works great. If you don't have any idea, that's okay. The first step is to find a school that's in a good geographic location so that you're not trying to drive all over the world to get your hours in. Okay, so the first week of school I need you to log into Blackboard so I know that you're here, and that's what I count for your attendance. And then after that, just that you're doing the work that's required that's outlined in the course calendar. Okay, so here's where I explain the verification for financial aid, those two requirements. And late work, so try not to do late work. It's hard to do late work if you're in the face-to-face class because most of the work we do is in class aside from your hours spent in the classroom. So that one's kind of hard to have late work, but just stay on top of stuff, and then if you don't, this is the steps for applying or requesting that you're allowed to do missing work. The grading policy is pretty straightforward. The D range you'll see is really small. I do that on purpose. You either make it or you don't for the most part. I don't like to make D's an easy grade to get, and that was something that I learned teaching high school. If you give them a nice wide range for a D, they're happy enough with a D. If you make it smaller and more difficult, they generally will try harder to at least get a C. On my grade book, make sure the grades entered are correct. I haven't switched numbers or incorrectly entered a grade. And so after a grade is in my grade book for 2 weeks, then it's final. It's kind of like cement. It sets and won't be changed. And I do that so that there's not like this review of grades during the last week of school. I had a problem with that when I first started teaching. I'd have students who wanted to go through the whole semester the last week because they would tell me one grade wasn't right and it was like 8 weeks ago. So stay current on your grade by looking at it in the grade book, and if you see a problem, let me know within that 2-week window, please. No textbooks for this class, and course calendars in Blackboard, and I'll go over that in each individual class in your Blackboards. Because you're different formats, I'll do one video for my traditional class and one video for my online when I go through the course calendars, and also when I go through the Blackboard tour. Those are separate for each class. Otherwise, the information is pretty much the same. Assignments are always due Mondays at 5 if it's something that has to be submitted in Blackboard. You can read through the rest of this. It's all pretty standard stuff. And let me know if you have any questions. But otherwise, that is it. I'm looking forward to seeing you in class.